How's it going? Ryan here. And today I took 0 trades on SPY. I will go over why I did not take any trades. I'll go over what I was looking at and the one trade that I would have liked to take. But before we get into those, we're on the daily time frame here. I cleaned up my chart. I wanted to start fresh, plot some more relevant recent levels. I felt like I was relying too much on things that I had charted from weeks ago and wanted to kind of update where I was at. So 2 levels I will keep are this 444 and 445, as well as I had this low here at 448.76 and then a level at pretty much 450. Some of these others are drawn on a smaller time frame, and we'll jump into that. I also noticed that we were in this little wedge on the daily time frame, stuck between this resistance and this rising support. Hop into an hourly, and we'll take a look at this. So this 448.8 and this 450 level, you can also see kind of represented in the hourly chart where these come into play. A swing bottom here, swing top here, and as you can see, we were opening up in that range, so that's why I marked that as relevant level, as well as this 450. There's a swing high. Once we broke above it, it was support, and we hadn't yet retested that level, so that was a level I found important. Also, I had these supply zones to the upside because we were moving higher in the pre-market. I was mostly looking for moves to the upside. Had we broken down, I would have had to kind of readjust my targets and see where I thought we'd go. But to the upside, we also had this zone between 450.9-ish and 451, 0.10 or so. So about a 20 point zone in there, or 20 cent zone there. And then to the upside, we have this zone, as you can see, the most recent high. One thing that I did notice, and I'll back up, go into a little bit higher time frame. We'll check out the hourly. Is that pattern that we had on the daily chart with this resistance and this rising support? We broke out of that and got a perfect retest in the pre-market. So that's a move I would have loved to get during market hours, is a breakout and retest of this consolidation. It worked out perfectly in the pre-market, and you can see how we reacted from there as we broke out of that consolidation. So that was really nice. Didn't get to trade that, obviously, but it was cool to see it play out nonetheless. But back to the 5-minute chart here. We'll look at what happened. So early in the day, we opened up and we started selling off. And we sold off and we broke below this 448.76 level. And you can see that we wicked up above it, making lower highs each time. And the candle bodies couldn't close above it. We were closing pretty much right at that level. Started to sell off. Then we had this bounce. We had this bounce that reclaimed that level. And then we immediately sold off again. This right here kind of reminded me of yesterday's price action. And I'm going to show you why. So this is yesterday. Yesterday, we rallied to the upside, had those small candle bodies, couldn't close below this level, closed way below it, rallied way up above it, and then sold off. So a sell-off to a bounce up above, and then a sell-off larger. I thought that was kind of interesting to see that in comparison with kind of what we did here, where we had a sell-off, some consolidation, a rally back up, and then a further sell-off. So just kind of some similarities, something that I thought was odd as I was watching it, and kind of reminded me of yesterday's session. But throughout this, I did not take any trades. I didn't really like the way we were moving here. We're kind of just chopping around. Then we had this candle, and then this candle, and I felt like things were a little erratic. That being said, though, one thing that I was looking for was a bounce off of yesterday's high of day, which is this green line here, this 447.7. It also happened to kind of line up with some support in the pre-market as well. But we did technically gap up overnight. So we opened up at 449 pretty much. Yesterday's high was 447.71. So we did have a gap up, and I wanted to see if we did come down and close that gap, if we would bounce from here. I did not get in here, and I wish I did, because that's the low of the day, and from there we rallied. My target would have been this level directly above us, that 448.76, so I would have tried to trade this level to level had I taken calls here. I honestly don't really have a reason why I didn't. I guess I just hesitated. Maybe I expected more consolidation in this area, but I didn't do the one thing that I was looking out for this morning, which was a bounce off this. Unless we got a break above high of day / high of the pre-market, then I would look for consolidation. That happened later in the day when I wasn't trading. So this right here is pretty much the 1 hour in the morning that I traded. Didn't take any trades in here. Kind of missed the one trade that I was looking for. What can you do? I'm happy that I didn't get into any trades out of FOMO or out of boredom. So that's good. It's good that I was able just to sit there and watch things play out and not feel obligated to take a trade. What isn't good is maybe I had too much of that hesitancy, or I guess, no obligation to get into a trade because I missed a very good trade, one that I was specifically looking for. So that's just probably a bit of dealing with a loss yesterday. Had a losing day yesterday, seeing some choppier action in the morning, maybe just not trusting myself fully. So from there, you can see that we rallied up. We came up and tested this 450 level pretty perfectly. Came down, nice beautiful hammer with volume, so that's a good reversal sign. Rallied back up, found support once we broke above that 450 level, made kind of a little bit of a double top, came down, retested that 450 level again, rallied all the way up and tested this supply zone that I had from a few days ago, and then from there kind of sold off into the end of the day. So level to level worked. When you see how price reacted to some of these areas, I mean, wicking off of the pre-market high pretty perfectly, closing above it, finding support there. It is beautiful to see these things play out like this. This 450 level, you can see how that reacted. So it's there. There's lessons to be learned. No trade and no loss is better than taking a risky trade and taking a loss. However, I did leave some profits on the table. That was a very good trade to take if you happen to capture that move up. But I'll be back tomorrow. With that being said, I do appreciate you watching. Thank you. I trade live every Monday through Friday. If you're interested, stop on by. We'd love to have you. And yeah, I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you. Bye.